Hi everyone, my name is Sanon and I'm chair of Netsoc this year. Welcome to Intro to Netsoc. Thank you all for coming. This year's event is going to be a bit different to previous years, not only because of ongoing world events, but we also have some pretty big upgrades to our services that we're really excited about. Right, so what do we do? Dynamic web hosting on our next-gen web spaces, which are actually really cool, and Jack is going to give you a run through of those in a couple of minutes. We host an instance of Matrix Chat, which is an open distributed encrypted communication platform. You get storage on our servers, 16 gigs in your container, and it is strictly limited. We run weekly events on languages, technologies, and tools. We also bring in guest speakers from time to time. We do have a room. It's in Goldsmith, and it's usually a pretty chill place to hang out. But for what I hope are obvious reasons, the society room is not accessible for members this year. What are we going over today? We're going to go over how to log into your Matrix account and how to set up your shiny new web space. Some basic stuff first. You need to have a full paid Netsoc account to access any of our services. So if you've just created an account but you haven't paid, you need to log in to your account and renew it. If you haven't got an account, you need to go to accounts.netsoc.ie/signup and go through the process there. Our two main servers at the moment are called Spoon and Cube. And Spoon has a 6-core Ryzen chip and 64 gigs of RAM. Cube has two 4-core Xeons and 24 gigs of RAM. We also have a couple of new servers coming up. Napalm, it's our newest server, which we'll be installing in the next few weeks. It's got 12 cores and 32 gigs of RAM. We also have another server coming up, which will host society websites, and that's something we're working with the CSE on. We don't have a name for it at the moment, so if you think of something cool, let us know. It's going to be our most powerful server with 16 cores and 64 gigs of RAM. Cool, now onto the services. So Matrix is an open network for secure, decentralized communication. So all of your messages and calls and content are encrypted. So no one but you and the person you sent the message to or called can access that content. The servers are federated, so you can connect to the Netsoc Matrix server via another Matrix server. So you can communicate with anyone on any Matrix server in the world. And you can create and join group chats. So how to use Matrix? Well, you can log in at matrix.netsoc.ie, or if you're on mobile, you can search for Element in the Play Store or Apple App Store. And when you open the app, you want to select the Other tab, type matrix.netsoc.ie into the address bar, and then you can just log in with your username and password. Quick demo on Matrix. Let me pull up the page that I have for that. Cool. So here is, if I can find the tab, of course. This is the login page for Matrix. So I have a username here, darts3, because my first username was taken. If I log in with that account, so hopefully this will work this time. Awesome. Yeah, that's fine. So if you have a valid account, you can just log in. Yeah, and then let's say I want to send someone a message. So in this case, I'm going to send myself a message. And I don't know if you can see that notification. But I can send myself a message, hi, and respond to myself. Cool. Yeah, so relatively simple demo. I suppose we can move on then to the next part, which is what I thought was going to be the more difficult bit.
Well, we haven't actually done it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, be fine. So then let me just continue sharing here. Right, web spaces. So web spaces are where you can host your own personal website on Netsoc servers. We provide you with a subdomain, which is currently your username.ng.netsoc.ie. So for example, mine is darts.ng.netsoc.ie. We will be changing these to just username.netsoc.ie at the end of October, but we're currently working on migrating stuff.
Yeah. Custom domain support is here as well. If you want to, if you have your own domain, you can set that up.
Yeah. So we did previously have a webspace setup, but it was very difficult to maintain and wasn't particularly feature rich, and only served static web pages from a folder. Or you could also host a WordPress site, but that was also a mess. What we're currently rolling out is the new version of web spaces, which are called Next Gen Web Spaces. They've been in the works for how long? About a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of the third iteration. We had something initially working. It was kind of broken. There were some issues with routing the requests, and then we took on rewriting it in Go there at the beginning of the year and using a different reverse proxy. And then the last couple of weeks, I've been updating it to run on our new Kubernetes setup. So
yeah. So yeah, your web space is in effect a container that's on our servers. You get 1 core and 1 gig of memory, which doesn't seem like a huge amount, but it's plenty to just play around with Linux and host a website.
Yeah, it might, particularly your memory allocation might go up when
we get more servers.
Yeah. So the idea is to give you as close to a VPS as possible. Obviously, we have, especially at the minute, fairly limited capacity, so that's why we're not doing VMs. Yeah.
Cool. So head to this URL and it'll take you to a GitHub releases page, and from there you can download whatever version you need for your system.
Let's hope it works on my machine. Right. So just to log into your account, you can do Netsoc account login, and then whatever your username is. So I'm going to log in as, oh, actually, I think I have the password here. Login root. And you just put in your password. Make sure you sign in. So you can manage your account through this as well. If you want, there'll be some more features to this soon, but for the main thing, you just want to log in, and then you can manage your web space. So have this command here, manage web space. I'm just going to delete mine because I already have it set up. Better get the chat up again. Where's it gone? My chat has disappeared. I'm not, maybe is it because I am screen sharing? Okay, so now the next thing you want to do is pick what OS you're basing. So, when you're using AWS or something like that, you pick, if you're using Ubuntu or whatever. So if you do Netsoc webspace images, you can pick from a list here. It's quite limited at the minute because we've only just set this up, but I'm just going to go with Ubuntu since it's probably what most people are familiar with. So I can do Netsoc webspace init, and then I put the name of the image, so Ubuntu, and if you have an SSH key, if you're familiar with SSH, you can pass in your public key, a file to your public key, and it'll automatically enable SSH for you. I'm just gonna go without for the moment. So then it'll ask you to enter a password for the log. So once it's done, you can do Netsoc Webspace console to get access to the console. So you'll see this attaching to console. It'll boot up, and you'll see the prompt here. So you type in root is the username, login, put in the password you had before, and then you'll be dropped to a shell. So what I'm going to do is, it's just Ubuntu, so you can just, if you want to follow on, you can just enter the commands I'm entering. So app-get update. It's just to update the package list. Then I'm going to install Nano, the text editor, and also Nginx, which is our what's going to display the web page. So if you just do apt-get install nano nginx. So by the way, we'll be doing more of a deep dive on the web spaces. We'll have an event for that. We can go into more details about what you can do. So I'll just let that stuff install. And then, so Nginx should now be running. So you should then be able to visit your web space. So let me just get a browser here. So my username is root.ng.netsoc.ie. And there you go. So welcome to Nginx. And then if I want to make a change, let's say you can use nano/var/www html index .index.nginx-debian.html. Yeah. So this is a text editor.
There's some of this is documented in the Nginx documentation, even though it's kind of bad, but if you're looking for documentation.
Yeah, on that, we'll also be doing documentation for all this Netsoc stuff. At the moment, we just haven't had a chance to actually write it. So let's see, I'll just make a change. Is it Dell? I can't remember what it is. I'm not a HTML person.
You could just make it a marquee.
And then Control X, Y, enter. If I go back to my browser, yeah, there's your change. Yeah, it did work. Cool. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you can do control right bracket. Yeah, so we'll be doing a more in-depth web space tutorial. We'll have some more stuff prepared for that. So let me get the chat back on my other monitor. Okay, so if you've downloaded the exe, I'll just close the terminal. You can usually get to a command prompt on Windows if you just right-click the Start menu, just click Windows PowerShell. Then if you just click Download in your browser, it's probably just gone into your Downloads folder. So if you just do cd downloads, then dot. Okay, cool. So once you've logged in, then you should be able to change from account login to webspace, and images should list you the possible OSs. And then once you've done that, you should be able to do, I'm just going to delete mine so I can start again. But once you've listed the images, you should be able to do init and then Ubuntu, say. And then it'll ask you for a password. So you can just type in, password. Huh. Well, I think that's it then. Is there anything else to cover?
No, that's it. If you are having issues and you need to get in contact with anyone, support@netsoc.ie is the email address.
Yep. And you can contact, if you can drop a message in the general on Matrix, or I'm at dev:/nul.ie, or I think send on your
darts,
netsoc.ie.
Yeah, it's at netsoc.ie.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See ya.